Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed a bit of our music. Great to see people where you're connecting from, and big welcome, big warm welcome to today's launch of this second module for the Yours Academy. We're really excited to be doing this brand new launch of this brand new this brand new session of the Yours Academy. We've been working really hard on getting it ready for you to experience and be part of it. And of course, the big thing is for us is to make sure that what we're presenting to you is the information, the knowledge that you want to be absorbed in, that you really need to know about to make your work better. And we're really excited to be sharing this brand new module with you. As you know, we launched module 1 a couple of months ago, the global road safety problem in youth. Really happy to see lots and lots of young people from the Global Youth Coalition and beyond joining that. And today we are going to be launching today's second module on the safe system approach and the risk factors. Might sound a little bit dry, might sound a little bit like safe system, what does that mean? That don't sound very interesting, but I promise you, we've been working really hard to make it engaging, interesting, and bringing people, experts in, bringing lots of interactive elements to it. And I'm going to be talking about that in a few minutes, all right? But firstly, as always, as we've already started getting the juices flowing in the chat, I want to start by asking you to either scan the QR code or go to menti.com and type in the code 5284412. And I want to start off just by getting to know who's here in the room, engage in a few questions, just 3 or 4 questions about the session and about the Yours Academy and so forth, and just getting a little bit more of a gauge about how you're feeling about what we've been doing so far. All right. So if you connect to that, and I'm going to switch to the Menti, and I'd love to see you guys on there. All right. So we have 4 people connected on the Menti so far. These are the instructions. I hope you can see that. There we go. Danny or Mal, maybe you want to drop the link in the chat or something like that, menti.com, and get yourself on there. So I'm going to wait until we hit a certain number, and then we're going to start the questions, all right? So in the meantime, as those numbers go up... Girl, smile for me, Jamaica, and I said smile, girl, smile. All right, we're jumping up. We're getting there bit by bit. We're on 15. I'm going to wait until we're at least 17. I don't know why, but we're going to do 17. All right, we're on 15 at the moment. So all you have to do is either scan the QR code with your phone and join in on your phone, or just if you're on your laptop or even on your phone still, you can type in menti.com and enter the code. All right. All right, awesome. We are at the desired number, so that's good. I want to start by asking you, and we already started this in the chat, is where are you tuning in from? All right, where are you tuning in from? Which part of the world are you in? You could say your city, you could say your country, you could say your town. I don't mind, but where are you tuning in from? All right. So we have USA, Nairobi, Kenya, fantastic. Kenya's in the house again. Brussels, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Croatia, Botswana, Uganda in a place called Jinja. That sounds great. Philippines is here. Paris, France, Croatia, Colombia, Brussels. Oh, this is beautiful. Let me see if I missed anybody out. Milan, Italy. Welcome, Milan, fashion capital of the world. Moldova, Beirut, lovely. Jordan is in the house as well. Wonderful. So many great people. Somebody just posted a palm tree. So I think that they're just either on holiday somewhere or they're in a nice tropical part of the world, right? So anyway, welcome to all of you, this beautiful mix of people from around the world. Next question I want to ask you is, which sector are you tuning in from? All right. So it might be faith, government, families, arts, entertainment, education, military, nonprofit, media. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be either from non-profit or the education field today. So yeah, non-profit, NGOs, education. A couple of people from the media, great. One person from the government, nice, great. Yeah, guys who are from other, type in the chat where you're from. We'd love to know the kinds of people we're attracting to this kind of session. So in the chat, the Zoom chat, just type in which sector you're from. We'd love to know where you're from. All right, beautiful. So next question is, I am a member of the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety. Are you a member or not? All right, so far 100%, because that's 8 people. All right, 100%. Most people are members. Welcome, members of the Global Youth Coalition. You're very welcome here. A couple of people are not members. That's okay. Maybe you don't fit the criteria, or maybe you're, you're not a member yet. You want to join the coalition? Absolutely welcome to join if you fit the youth criteria. Great. So 92% of people here are members who are taking part in this survey now. Okay, next question. For those people, all right, so this is a question for people who obviously been on the academy, they've seen module 1 or they've not. I would love to know your first impressions, or what are your impressions of the Yours Academy? Even if you haven't been on it yet, obviously you may have seen some communications about it. Obviously, that's why you're here in the room today. That's why you're here on this call. So in a couple of words, what have your impressions been of the Yours Academy so far? Just give people a little bit of time just to give their responses. So somebody said, I like the quizzes and the variety of educational material. Well presented, easy to learn, missing real follow-up from organizers. It's incredible, mind-blowing, engaging, great module, great work, so nice to be here, not miss any event. I like the host. Interactive and upbuilding knowledge, very well designed, great content, very interactive. The information is very interesting. I learn a lot of things. Oh, that's really good. That's really nice to hear. Obviously, we read your feedback, the pre and post questionnaires. We read every single thing that you say. All your feedback is really important to us. And of course, we're gonna build on not just the good things. We're not here just to say, oh, it's great, fantastic. We know it's good, without sounding like without blowing our own trumpet, as the phrase goes. We know it's good. We know it's different, but it's really important for us to also reflect on the things that we can improve as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reflecting on the things that we can make better and improve as well. But so far, really nice to see. Very inspiring, great modules, impressive to learn, intriguing, great to be part of the community. It's a great educational tool, a great voice for youth. Amazing. Thank you so much for those amazing reflections. Okay, next question. This is now talking a bit about the module that we're focusing on now, which is the safe system approach. So how relevant do you think the safe system is to your work? Now, it's okay if you don't know the answer, all right? And we've got a bit of a spelling mistake. Somebody's put Revelenvat. I don't know how we got such a deep spelling mistake there. Revelenvat. Anyway, never mind. You know what we're saying, relevant, right? Quite relevant, extremely relevant, or I'm not sure. Okay, so most people are saying it's extremely relevant to the work that we're doing. And so learning more about it is going to be the key to the next module, of course. Okay, so most people are saying extremely relevant, and some, okay, not sure. Great, thanks for being honest, because the whole point here is that by improving our knowledge, by improving what we know about a certain topic, we will be able to connect it to the work that we're doing and make it relevant to the work that we're doing as well, okay? And penultimate question, last but one, what are some of the other topics that you hope we're going to be covering in the Yours Academy? As we told you before, we do a start of the year, we do a needs assessment, we figure out what you want in terms of content, in terms of topics, in terms of focus. And I just want to know, what are maybe some of the other topics that you would love us to cover? And we want to make that happen as well. So this is kind of like almost at the end of the year, a little bit of a gauging if we're still on the right track and how we can do that. All right, so somebody said project management, advocacy, research on road safety, climate change and how it's affecting our mobility. Brilliant. Advocacy, safe system approach, which we're doing now, which is great. Collision investigation analysis, design of safer roads. Advocacy again. Well, that's great so far, what I'm seeing, because we are going to be doing a module on advocacy, and we are going to be doing a module on how road safety connects to other topics. So yeah, let's see what else came up. Advocacy, project management, hot issues, AI, ITS, DL, ML, these are a lot of great, really great acronyms, which I have no idea what they mean. So just type them in the chat as well. AI, I think, is artificial intelligence. Yeah. Rural road safety strategies. Okay, fantastic. Road safety audit engineering. Wow, we're getting quite technical now as well. All right. So good to see. Great to see some of these topics. Great to see some of these things coming up. And we are going to be delving into way more topics as the year ends, and obviously as 2023 begins as well. And finally, just to see how many people have actually taken Module 1, have you taken Module 1 yet? Yes or no? On the safe system, sorry, no, on the global road safety problem and youth. I'm hoping more people will say yes than no. And please be honest, because this is also part of our strategy of ensuring that, number one, you know about the work we're doing, and this Yours Academy is available. And number two, to ensure that people are on there and completing it, right? So, okay, 62% of people said yes. And still a big portion of people have not yet been able to get onto that and do it. And we'd love to know why as well. It's been launched, I think, at the end of May, early June. It's been online for some time now. So it would be awesome to also encourage you guys, if you've not yet taken the Module 1, you've now got 2 modules to focus on. It's a bit like when a Netflix series comes out, and you're waiting every week for the next module to come, for the next module, or in my Netflix case, the next episode to come. Or you wait till the very end and you can binge all the episodes together. I recommend doing it spaced out, but each to their own, and it's all based on your own learning preference, of course. All right, so I'm going to quickly go to the chat and see if we have any topics here. Let's see. Somebody said sustainable approach that they would like to see. People are saying hello. People are saying some of the topics. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi, John from the Philippines. Great. Welcome back. Okay. So let's go into now a little bit about what we're actually doing in this next module and why we're doing it, right? So for those of you who maybe missed the first module on and the launch of the Yours Academy, as we launched with the first module, I just want to tell you the reason why we're doing this in the first place, and the reason why the Yours Academy exists and why we're doing it. And ultimately, it goes back to the vision of Yours, of what we're doing as an organization. And ultimately, we imagine a world where sustainable mobility, where safety, and where these mobility systems are accessible, affordable for everyone in all parts of the world, regardless of age, gender, education, disability, socioeconomic status. And the important thing is that we want to see mobility systems in the future and today that are co-created with young people, not just by listening to them, but in a meaningful interaction at all levels of decision making. But in order to get there, in order for young people to be saying the right things, to understand the evidence-based perspective, and to marry their own lived experiences with the experiences of actual evidence-based data and knowledge, then we need a strong foundation to understand how road safety affects our lives as young people and what we can do about it. Because a lot of us have anecdotal evidence of what's happened. Somebody's died on the road, or we've seen a crash happen, or somebody's died in our community, or we're personally being involved in something and we're inspired to do something. But then we say, that's great, that passion is really important, but get some knowledge on how to do it. Just take a step back for a minute. And that way, your interventions, your work can be so much more effective and so much more powerful. And that's what we want. We want a generation of strong leaders in road safety. So, as you know, and if you've seen Module 1, our approach is not to scare people into behavior change, but rather working with young people, working with decision makers towards a safe system where stakeholders understand their roles, but also within the broader road safety and development agenda. And as we say, education is just one part of the safe system. And you're going to see that in this module as well, is that it's not the silver bullet. It's not the thing that is going to cure all the road safety issues, but it's a great place for us to start, a good starting point in which we can prepare young people to be these stakeholders in road safety solutions. So getting the knowledge that we need and help you first define the problem that young people are facing, also responding to your needs, framing road safety through the lens of youth vision and youth eyes and your perspectives with young leaders around the world, preparing and empowering you guys to be the leaders of today and tomorrow, and to basically say no more to this global scourge that's facing young people all around the world, or biggest killer of young people all around the world, as you know. And it's so important that, you know, we as people can actually do something about it as young, educated and empowered young people. And of course, like I mentioned, coming from an evidence-based standpoint, that's not just saying, all right, I have an idea for a road safety campaign, I'm going to print some T-shirts that says stop speeding or listen to our voice. I mean, these are great ideas, but without the evidence, without working on the things that work, we need to go beyond just education, right? And hopefully the Safe System approach will explain that to you in more detail. And finally, making sure that the work that we're doing, that the impact that we're making, we can circle back and understand the efforts by reviewing and evaluating the work we're doing to make your work more effective. So really the role of education is to improve what we're doing as young people and as practitioners, as people working in road safety, and ensuring that we're doing and saying the right things and the things that work, right? So when we talk about what's been happening at the Yours Academy, I'm really encouraged that around 250 people since signing up, since launching the Academy, have signed up, are going through the Yours Academy every day. New people are getting their certificates for Module 1. Interestingly, our platform is reviewed not only by experts, so World Health Organization, Johns Hopkins University, the George Institute, but also by young people. So making sure that the language works, making sure that sticks with people, and making sure that it speaks the tone of young people that's going to be relatable. We've put it online because it's scalable, it's accessible. You can access this whenever you want, at any time of the day, wherever you are, as long as you've got an internet connection and a connection, you can access it through your phone or through a laptop. It's really flexible to your own availability. And you can choose the modules that best fit your needs. We only had one at the start. Now we have 2. By next year, I'm imagining we're going to have a lot more. And so you can choose the modules that are relevant to your learning, of course. All right, so let's have a look at what makes the Yours Academy unique, in the sense of what is it that we offer on our platform that maybe is not that common on other learning platforms. And I would say a couple of these things that you see on the screen is that you see my face a lot, and you are probably bored of my face now, right? I hope not, but you're probably like bored of hearing my voice or bored of seeing my face. But I'm on the screen, I'm talking to you as a facilitated person, as somebody who pops up every so often to say, guide you through the learning. This is what we've just learned. This is what we're going through next. And we're trying to replicate that kind of facilitated in-person kind of training, but online, of course. So you don't feel alone. You don't feel like you're just clicking through. You're kind of coming through with somebody to guide you through the way. We use a lot of gamifications, quizzes, scenarios, videos, learning methods, ebooks, infographics, art, poetry, loads of these different types of games through these various learning methods. Like I said about the language, is so important that we share language that's not too technical, that it doesn't go over people's heads, and that young people can actually understand it regardless of which basis you come from educationally. And of course, evidence-based in the sense of WHO standards, reviewed by experts, and we're saying the right thing. And we're using and adapting our award-winning methodology that we have for in-person trainings as well. So I want to give you a little flavor of what's to come. So first of all, you've seen that the Global Road Safety Problem in Youth has already been published online today. Understanding the risk factors and the Safe System is online as well. These are the modules that you can expect to be coming up over the next year and a half. And in terms of live sessions, these are the ones that we've just completed. Artvocacy, leadership, we've just done, and the ones next are coming up now as well. So look out for those live sessions. In October, we're going to be doing a session on building your movement and advocacy in road safety. So let me give you a little introduction to the platform, that those of you who haven't seen the platform yet and who haven't had a go on the platform, haven't explored it, and play you a little video. And I want to show you what the platform's all about. Here we go. If it decides to play, there we go. Welcome to the Yours Academy, our latest online learning platform that brings you our award-winning in-person trainings in its online version. Taking more than 10 years of interactive on-site trainings with young leaders around the world, we transform this into a self-paced online academy that you can access at any time and any place. Using the Yours Academy, you can get to know about the most pressing public health concern facing young people every single day: road traffic crashes. We present the topic to you in a facilitated, evidence-based, gamified, self-reflective, and brain-friendly, engaging learning experience that you can complete in your own time. We designed the Yours Academy to be fun, unique, exciting, so that you can get the most out of our tools, resources, and training sessions to maximize your road safety learning. So, what are you waiting for? Get on over to the Yours Academy and sign up now. First module is absolutely free for anyone to access. Can't wait to see you there. All right. Shout out to Mao for that amazing video. Mao is our comms officer at Yours, who put some of these amazing videos together. All right. So I want to hand over to our newly recruited, brand new, she's only been in the role a couple of weeks now, Daniela from Colombia. Daniela, well, she goes by the name of Laura Daniela Gomez. So you can call her Laura or Daniela. It's up to you. I'm sure she would have a preference on that. So Danny, I'm going to hand over to you to recap Module 1.
Thank you, Manfred, and a warm welcome to everyone who's here today. I'm very excited to have you here, and also a warm greeting to our partners, who I guess I've seen a couple of them here also. Well, let's do a short recap on Module 1, and this can be the opportunity also to tell those 40%, I guess, of people who hadn't taken the module yet, the Module 1, to take it, because it is really interesting, it's very interactive, and it can help us also to refresh and review those concepts that we as young leaders on road safety need to have very, very clear. So the first module is called the Road Safety Problem and Youth, and it gives us an insight into why so many young people have become advocates for road safety. So why this issue has intrigued and gained the interest from many young people around the world, and why are we demanding and delivering road safety in our communities and beyond. This module has certain learning objectives, so you will see that all the modules and all the sessions inside the modules have those learning objectives, which are basically they set the direction where we are going throughout the module. So in the case of Module 1, we have 4 learning objectives. The first one is identifying key facts, figures, trends, and statistics that illustrate the global road safety crisis. So it is really helpful to understand what are those numbers, what are those percentages, for example, of vulnerable road users that are affected in on road crashes all the worldwide. Also, explaining why young people are dying on the world roads. Additionally, explaining the scope of the road safety crisis facing youth around the world. And the last learning objective is identifying the key principles of the Global Youth Statement for road safety, which is a very important tool that we have as the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety. So in general terms, the topics that we can find in this module are, first of all, the scope of the problem, which is related to the learning objective 1, and it is understanding, again, those numbers, the data that we really need to have in mind to explain other people why this issue is so important. Also, another topic is faces behind the figures. So it is, we find here testimonies of people that has been affected by road crashes, but not only it describes how have they been affected, but also how have they overcome and taken action to avoid other people to suffer the same situation. Also, we have youth and road traffic injuries. Here we can find a description and an explanation on how certain risk factors affect young people more. And finally, we will understand what are those demands and petitions that we as youth leaders have, and how the Global Youth Statement for Road Safety really helps us to advocate for safer roads and well, a better road safety. So after this, I guess we have a short video, yes, from Dr. Margie Peden. She's from, she works at George Institute for Global Health. I guess she's here. I think she's here now, connected with us. But let's watch this video, which is a short recap and a short comment from her side to what Module 1 is.
Good day, everyone. My name is Margie Peden, and I am the head of the George Institute program on injury prevention. I'm also a co-director of a WHO collaborating center on injury prevention and trauma care. I have a long association with yours. Back in the mid-2000s, Floor came to work with us at WHO, where we were organizing a youth assembly for road safety. Soon after we finished the assembly, he came up with this idea of setting up a non-governmental organization for youth advocates. And not long after that, yours was born, and the rest, as they say, is history. So, what about this course that you're about to take? I've so enjoyed reviewing it and really thank Manpreet and Floor for pulling it together. It's interesting, it's informative, and it's just a little bit quirky. It's definitely more engaging and entertaining than the regular webinars that we've been listening to over the last couple of years, or straight plain PowerPoint presentations. So I'm very encouraged that you've decided to take the course, and I encourage you to also invite your friends and colleagues to take a look at the course and consider doing it. It shouldn't take a lot of time, and the amount of information that you will receive will be considerable, and you'll be able to put it into play immediately. We really need young road safety advocates like you. We need to grow a new generation of road safety experts. Thank you very much and enjoy the course.
So before going back to you, Manpreet, well, there you have it, the expert comment. We will also have short after some comments from young leaders who have taken the module. And please do register and take advantage of this wonderful content that you have available on the Yours Academy platform. So now back to you, Manpreet.
Thank you very much, Danny, for the concise overview of what happened in Module 1 and why it's important. And I think it's probably weird for Margie Peden, who's in the audience watching herself on video, thinking, hang on, I'm not speaking. What's going on? Oh, wait, it's a video that I recorded earlier. So thank you, Margie. I will invite you to say a few words in a minute once I've introduced this module. And I also see that Dr. Mats Bellin is here in the audience as well, who was actually a really crucial part of putting this module together in terms of guidance, in terms of mentorship, but also in terms of framing the understanding of the safe system approach. And he actually created a superstar lecture in this module. And I want to invite him to say a few words in a few minutes as well, if he's up for that as well. Okay, so what about this next module? The safe system approach to road safety, the risk factors, what does it mean? So I'm going to quickly look at what are our learning objectives for this module? So by the end of this module, you'll be able to identify the key elements of the safe system approach and understand how it applies to road safety. Obviously, it's a road safety innovation. Explain the key risk factors that put young people at increased risk on the world's roads. Because one of the things you're going to learn is that, yes, we have a safe system, and we're moving away from that old paradigm of blaming road users for dying on the road, moving away from that understanding that 90% of all crashes are due to road behavior or road failure of drivers on the road or whatever, and actually understand that it's a systems issue, a systemic issue, which is very much in line with the Decade of Action plan for the next Decade of Action, 2021 to 2030. But still, while that exists, we still need safe road users, right? So we're going to understand what are those risk factors that put young people at increased risk and what we can do about it as role models, as peer educators, as people who are acting as safe people on the road, and of course, setting the right example for the people around us. And then finally, identifying some of the global standards for mitigating these risk factors. We talk about things like alcohol locks. We talk about things like helmets that are of the right components and that reach a certain star level, cars of a certain star rating, such as global NCAP when they test cars and their safety. And then we have star ratings for roads as well. What does that mean? And how do we understand that in the broader context of some of the global standards for mitigating risk factors? So some of the sessions that we have, so as you know, we take the module and we break it down into smaller sessions. Each session has activities that take us on that learning journey so that we can reach our learning objectives. So we're going to be looking at the topics of humans are not perfect or invincible, the safe system approach to road safety and sustainable mobility, and the risk factors and our responsibility and where that places us in the grand scheme of things. So actually, before I go into our guest words from Alex and Pradeep from Kenya and India, respectively, I'd just like to maybe invite Dr. Belin to the stage, the virtual stage, and say a few words maybe about your involvement in this module and what you've seen so far, if that's okay with you, Dr. Belin. If you're still here, I can't see who's in the audience for some reason. Here he is. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, seen and heard.
Thank you. No, I think this is great. This is a great initiative, as a new global lead for this Decade of Action now at WHO. I have my background from Sweden, being deeply involved in this Vision Zero kind of movement from the beginning. And although I still feel very young, I was very young in that time. It was in the mid-90s, but it's great to see this support. And you are so important. The young people is so important now to make a change. And as you said, switch the mindset around road traffic injuries now for the next Decade of Action. So I'm very pleased to see that this initiative and the support that we get from a more governmental kind of top-down perspective. We need you actually to make a change. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And as I mentioned, Dr. Belin has done a superstar lecture. I found it really fascinating because it actually goes back to his youth days, right? And like you said, he's still young, probably young at heart and young, whatever he experience or expects himself. I'm not going to go there, but basically he goes into his younger age when he was at the Swedish government, at Trafikverket, and doing all this incredible work as a young person, coming up with the policy innovation that is Vision Zero, and then juxtaposing it with some of the other amazing safe system approach, like the beginnings of safe system, like Sustainable Safe in the Netherlands, how Vision Zero went to other parts of the world like New York and other European and Western countries, and then to other parts of the world as well. But also about understanding the safe system from a perspective of actually this is how we understand that we can't now blame people for dying on the road. So that's really, really important. And I found that really, really interesting. And I'm sure you guys will find it really educational and interesting as well. So got a few minutes. Margie, are you still here? Because Margie was telling me she was traveling on the train somewhere. Oh, here she is. Yeah.
I am.
Hey, Margie.
I'm sitting in a pub in downtown London, as one does. So I can't really talk very much, but I just wanted to wish everybody good luck. I mean, I think this is an amazing undertaking that you've pulled together, Manpreet and your colleagues. It's a funky way of getting road safety across to youth. I'm amazed that there are 46, 47 people online. That is amazing. I've never done a webinar that's had so many people on it before. So way to go. Yeah, and I also want to say good luck from Connie. I don't think Connie managed to be online, but Connie from Hopkins and Heidelberg University, together with myself and Matt, have been involved in making sure that the evidence is correct. So you've got lots of interesting ways of putting that information across in this module. But it's actually making sure that we're given the right.
Absolutely, yeah. Margie, you accidentally muted yourself, but I heard the last bit.
There we go.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, I just said I'm looking forward to the next module, and I hope everybody enjoys it. And feedback would be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, Margie, even though she's sitting in a pub and probably going to have a pint, and please have a pint on us as well, a pint of beer, because even though we're talking about the risk factors, like I mentioned in there, we're not against drinking per se. We're not against certain risks, but it's about not mixing it with driving and not mixing it with with being a road user and how we can set it. Oh no, she's having a coffee. All right, never mind. Yeah, it is a bit too early probably for a beer, isn't it? So there we go. Have a beer on me. So the point is that Margie's quite instrumental in and Connie, and of course Dr. Bellin has been instrumental in reviewing this content, in making sure it's evidence-based, making sure it's we're saying the right things, because that's so important for us to make sure that we're giving you the right evidence-based expert reviewed information, and it's a long process of getting to this point, and all these different all these different steps that we need to take. Okay, so next I'd like to invite just to say a few words about their experience. Now, Laura, Danny, you can testify to this, is that Pradeep Patange from India, one of the reasons why we invited him is because we can see all the metrics behind the screen, behind the scene, of how many people have been on the module, how long they've spent on it. There are a few sneaky people, and don't think we don't know this, because we do, who just skip through the entire module and then get their certificate, post it on social media and say, "Yay, I completed module 1," when really they've spent like half an hour on the module. Whereas Pradeep spent a considerable amount of time, I think it was about 5 or 6 hours on module 1, taking his time through the module. And that's right, isn't it? He spent a really decent amount of time on there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Pradeep, without further ado, one of our champions of module 1, really enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your feedback of what you experienced in the platform, and what we can encourage other young people to do so in the next module as well.
Hi all. Thanks for giving me opportunity to be part of this beautiful event of launching of module 2. And it was a beautiful experience, and I'm really glad you mentioned about the time what I have spent on learning that module 1. And actually it's a surprising thing, being from a specialized field of highways. I interestingly went on to see the content, and it was a great to see each and everything being mentioned and taken up in such a way that it is beautifully making us to understand in more detail of what the actual problem is, what the youth is facing, the actual problem across the globe. And it was a beautiful learning from there, that just it's not something issue. If we look around us, if someone is going as a vulnerable road user and they are suffering from this, so it's across the globe what we can see. This thing is happening with every one of us coming across this great issue, and it's being addressed in such a way that we are making the platform is making us to understand it in detail. So how we can understand it in better way and can advocate that, or you can engage ourselves to a better level than rather than just seeing it in front of our eyes.
Absolutely. So obviously, Pradeep, you spend a considerable amount of time on there, and that's brilliant for us because we spent obviously a considerable amount of time putting it together. So yeah. Where did you see or feel the vast majority of your time was being focused on?
So beautifully, if I say the content-wise introduction, then went on with the problem, what the scope of the problem was. There I spent a lot of time. It was a beautiful thing how it was described with the global figures across the thing, means how all countries are dealing with this thing with different aspects, how they are taking up the challenge and what response they are providing in terms of speeds and safety measures. It has been very well in detail taken up in those models, and it was great to see how comparatively all the nations are responding to this issue and how better they can do. So it was beautiful to explore that content because I have never seen earlier such a great comparative thing that every countries are facing such problem in different aspects of their different kind of responses towards this global issue.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being a part of it. And you know, this content is created for people like you, you know, for young people who are in the field or maybe not even in the field, who have an interest and actually, you know, can take something away from it. So it actually gives us a lot of encouragement to know that people are spending time on it, they're going through the module and the content in lots and lots of detail and actually taking something away from it. And that's what it's all about. You know, it's about making your work more effective and giving you the tools that you need. Danny, I'm not sure if Alex is Alex here or did we lose him because I'm not seeing him on the.
No, he couldn't make it.
Okay,
so yeah.
That's okay. All right. I guess so. Then maybe for a minute, we're about a couple of minutes over, but we're going to wrap up in a second. So maybe if anybody else has any reflections, you want to put your hands up. Maybe you want to ask a question. Maybe you want to say a few words. Somebody said, I want to say something about the first module. Soriotula. Yeah, if you want, please put your hands up and we'll invite you to the stage. If you're still here, I'm not sure if you are.
Yeah, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I am Soriotula Sheikh from India. Actually, I have completed the first module, and it is very, really very interesting, and it is decorated step by step. There are a lots of information all over the India about road safety, and not only that, sir. There is, first of all, I read this information that after watching, and not only that, there is also some graphic things, and it is.
I don't know if it's just me, but you keep freezing every so you keep freezing, Charlotte, every 2 minutes. Unfortunately, do you want to say that last bit again, please? Just you know, that'd be great.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are, but you keep freezing every couple of seconds. So.
Okay, sir. Actually, may I say slowly, very slowly, or what? Actually, it is really very fine. I have completed totally, sir, the first module. And what I want to say that first I read this. After reading, it means videos playing. And for that, after seeing visually all kind of things, I understood. And after that, sir, some playing things or some scripts. These are very really informative and memorable things. It cannot never be forgotten, sir. So it is really helpful, sir.
Brilliant. That's great. Well, thank you so much for the reflection. We really appreciate it. And yeah, somebody was asking if the first module is still available and yeah, Danny's mentioned that it is still available. All these modules will be available online for you to access at any point. And we do recommend, if you haven't taken the first module, it's a really good place to start. before going into the next one.
And sir, just one I have forgotten, that it is first module, they can know, or he can know all kind of information throughout the world. Every percentage, everything are mentioned in this module about road safety, sir. It is very really, and if one want to research about road safety, helpful for him.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Cyrilotas. That really means a lot, your enthusiasm about the course as well. So that just leaves me to do one thing, and that is to officially launch the module and invite you to go on and do it and go and experience it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. That brings us to the end of our session today. The last thing to do for you to do is to go on to the yawsacademy.org and start module number 2 if you haven't started it. And Pradeep, Cyrilota, and everybody else who's taken the first module, I expect to hear some feedback from you guys as well, how you found it. Danny, any last words from yourself?
Invite everyone to take the modules. Module 1 is still available. Take module 2, and please ask if you have any question, if you need any support, but do take advantage of these wonderful resources that we have become available to you.